Imagine a home not just built from timber and stone, but alive with the rhythm of the earth. A place where the walls seem to breathe with the wind, where silence is not emptiness, but a comfort, broken only by the soft crackle of firewood on a winter's night. A home where technology does not intrude but listens. It bends, it adapts, it harmonizes. This isn't fantasy. This is the rebirth of rustic living, guided quietly, almost invisibly by AI. In a world that moves too fast, where every second is claimed by noise and urgency, there is a deeper question. What happens when we step away from it all? What happens when we stop chasing the artificial glow of constant distraction and instead allow intelligence, not human but created, to shape a home meant for the wild? This is not about screens or circuits. It is about stillness, about a life where each sunrise is felt, not just seen through glass, where water runs not from endless supply, but from the sky above, gathered and cared for, where warmth is given not just by heaters and wires, but by the sun, stored and remembered by walls that know how to keep it safe. And within all of this, hidden like a whisper, is AI, not commanding, not controlling, simply listening, learning the patterns of the land, the breath of the seasons, the rhythm of the family inside. So we stand at the edge of a new story, one where rustic beams and digital minds meet not as rivals, but as partners. One where escape from the noise does not mean leaving behind the future, but inviting it to serve a simpler, truer way of living. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it's a simple way to show your love for these incredible designs. There is a dream buried deep inside so many of us, the dream of stepping away from the noise, of reclaiming a life shaped not by deadlines and traffic, but by the steady rhythm of the earth itself. To wake without alarms, guided instead by the quiet glow of the sunrise stretching across the horizon. To walk barefoot through grass still damp with morning dew, and feel, if only for a moment, that time belongs to you again. In this dream, water does not come from endless pipes hidden underground. It falls from the sky, gathered carefully, honored as a gift. Power does not hum endlessly through wires strung across cities, but rises each day with the sun, stored gently for when night returns. Life, here, is not about consumption, it is about balance. You see it most clearly in the rhythm of family. A child tracing shapes in the dirt, chasing butterflies instead of notifications. A parent finding warmth in the simple work of tending, repairing, creating. And evenings, gathered not around glowing screens, but around a fire, its crackle telling stories older than memory. The vessel that holds all of this is the barndominium. Strong, raw, and unapologetically simple, its frame speaks of endurance. Its open spaces whisper freedom. It does not pretend to be perfect or polished. It is honest, weathered, and alive. A home not built to dazzle, but to shelter. Not meant to impress, but to belong. This is the essence of off-grid living, a return to the basics, yes, but not a sacrifice. It is choosing a life that is slower, deeper, richer. A life where nature is not a backdrop, but a partner. And the barndominium, humble yet enduring, becomes the vessel where that dream finally takes shape. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. But what if old timber and stone had a silent partner, an intelligence invisible, yet alive within the house itself? Not a voice that shouts commands, not a screen glowing in the dark, but a quiet mind that listens. A presence that feels the shift of seasons, that notices when the sun lingers longer on the western wall or when the air grows heavy before rain. This is where Rustic meets AI, the rough grain of weathered wood, the strength of stone pulled from the earth, paired with something softer, something unseen. The house begins to think in its own way. It leans into the sun, drawing in warmth during the day, holding it close for the cold hours of night. It learns to breathe, opening and closing vents so air flows fresh, never stale. It gathers water from the sky and uses it wisely, never wastefully, as though it, too, respects the gift. There is no need for jargon, no need for wires to steal the story. What matters is the feeling. A home that doesn't just stand still, but moves with you, with the weather, with the land. Imagine walking through a doorway and knowing the house has already softened the chill before you arrived, or stepping outside in the morning to find the house quietly preparing for the heat of day. It is more than technology, it is intuition woven into walls. The kind of intelligence that does not overpower the rustic soul of the place, but protects it, nurtures it. A partnership between cedar beams and circuits, between memory and learning. A house that listens, breathes, and grows with its people not apart from them. And in that quiet partnership, the dream of living with the land finally feels complete. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. Every home has a story, but this one feels more like a living character than a collection of walls and beams. At its heart, it is rustic, anchored in strength, honesty, and raw simplicity. The beams are thick, weathered by time, carrying the quiet dignity of wood that has known both storm and sunlight. Each board whispers of forests, of growth, of patience. Light moves differently here. The windows are not just glass, they are invitations. Tall and wide, they stretch toward the horizon, following the path of the sun. Morning light spills gently into open spaces, while evening rays linger a little longer, softening the room with warmth. It feels as though the house itself is chasing the light, holding onto it, keeping it close for those who live inside. And then there is the intelligence you don't see, the quiet mind hidden behind its rustic skin. It is not loud, not boastful. It adjusts energy when the day grows too hot, conserves it when the night turns cold. It anticipates the family's rhythm, the hours they rise, the moments they rest, the patterns of their days. All without drawing attention, all without breaking the stillness. The roof doesn't just shield, it harvests, gathering the strength of the sun, storing it like a secret until the house needs it. The walls don't just hold, they remember. They cradle warmth in winter, carry coolness in summer, adapting as though they, too, have seasons within them. This is not design for appearance, but design for life. A home that protects without smothering, that thinks without speaking, that stands as both guardian and companion. In its anatomy, rustic strength and quiet intelligence intertwine, shaping not just shelter, but a place that truly belongs. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos. And let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. Morning comes quietly here, not with alarms, not with traffic pressing at the windows, but with sunlight spilling gently across the rooms. The warmth arrives slowly, wrapping itself around the beams, softening the chill that lingers from the night. The house feels alive, as though it woke before the family, preparing the day in silence. Vents open with the first stir of morning air. Freshness moves through the home, carrying the scent of grass, of earth still damp from night. It feels deliberate, as though the house itself decided it was time to breathe. Nothing wasted, nothing hurried. Water is never taken for granted. Each drop comes from the sky, caught, filtered, and shared without excess. When a hand turns the tap, it feels less like routine and more like gratitude. The rhythm of life here is built on respect for the land, for the resources, for the small miracles that make each day possible. As the sun sets, the house shifts again. Light hums softly, not harsh, not blinding, but warm, glowing with just enough presence to make the night feel safe. It is rustic, Yes, with its raw wood and honest simplicity, but beneath the beams there is a quiet intelligence, guiding, adjusting, making sure the balance holds. For the family, this life is not about having less. It is about living more. More time together, more stillness, more presence in each small moment. A child tracing patterns in the dust. A parent listening, truly listening without distraction. Nights gathered in soft light, where silence is not empty but full. This is daily life off-grid, a rhythm slower, richer, deeper. A life where the future and the past do not clash, but finally learn to walk together. But isn't AI the very thing we run away from when we dream of escape? When we close our eyes and picture a cabin in the woods or a barndominium standing against the horizon, we don't imagine wires and algorithms. We imagine silence, simplicity, a life stripped back to what matters most. And yet here lies the conflict. We fear technology will follow us, that it will pollute even the last quiet corners of the earth. We fear it will smother the sound of wind in the trees, that it will trade stillness for calculation. But what if we are wrong? What if intelligence, artificial though it may be, can bend itself not against nature, but toward it? We feared it would disconnect us, but maybe, just maybe, it can reconnect us. If it learns not to dominate but to listen. If it serves the land, not the other way around. This is where tension becomes possibility. Tradition whispers that the old ways are enough, that wood and fire can carry us through. Innovation insists we cannot turn our backs, not when storms grow fiercer, not when resources grow scarce. Between them, there is space, a balance waiting to be found, a home guided by both, raw beams and digital memory, stone walls and silent intelligence. It is not about surrendering to machines, nor abandoning the wisdom of the past. It is about weaving the two together like threads in a fabric stronger than either alone.